Hey everyone, how are you? I'm sorry if I look really pale. I dim the lights as much as I can, but I mean, honestly, I am really pale. Like, that's just the matter of the fact. So I wanted to make this rant video just because I think some of you know that I'm on a weight loss journey and I'm trying to lose weight, but it's taken me a long time just because it's a hard balance. First of all, I don't really have discipline, so it definitely takes a while for me to like put that line and say no, I can't have that, and stay in a calorie deficit. It's definitely hard for me. The three people I'm going to talk about in this video, they all mean a lot to me, but their comments, like, I could care less. But my concern is people that are younger or people that are a little fresher in their journey, or are sensitive, or they're having a bad day. Like, you don't know how anything will affect someone. And honestly, at the end of the day, like, if it's not your own personal life, then you don't have any right to be making comments on people's looks, weight, anything, like their style. No, just mind your own business. I know I'm hella nosy. Like, I always want to know things, but for the most part, I feel like I've learned from experience that there's boundaries to things, and people deserve their own little world, their own little happiness. So yeah, with that said, let's get started because this intro is taking a little bit too long. Like I said, all three people that have made comments on my weight, or things I should do on my weight, and there's more, but just these three really stand out in my head, are all family members, which I love. I haven't stopped talking to them. I know I'm going to link a video down below. The first time I really experienced fat shaming was with a family member who I did stop speaking to for like 9 months. And some people thought it was my brother. It wasn't my brother. I felt so bad when he told me that. But yeah, so let's see. The first person, actually two of these moments happened at a wedding that I helped take pictures at. They were cutting the cake, and I was like, oh, so excited because, the cake looked bomb. He held my hand or my arm, I don't remember, and he said something along the lines of "not for you" or "don't get cake," something like that. And then he laughed it off, and right away in my head I was like, "Excuse you?" I told him, I'm like, "Excuse you, if you want to not get cake, if you're concerned with your weight, then you don't eat cake. But I'm going to get cake, and I'm going to worry about my weight." And, everyone just laughed in the table. And people know I have a quick, I have quick reflexes, a quick mouth. I always have something to say. So, people thought it was funny, and I don't think they gave it much thought. But in that moment, I was just like, who are you? Like, what is wrong with you? You have a daughter. Would you ever want anyone to say something like that to your daughter? I thought it was so patronizing. And I think men need to be very careful in how they speak to women, and how I understand that society has allowed men to, feel this sense of being able to say whatever they want whenever they want. But we are in a different time, and times are changing very fast. So I think all men, at any age, boys and men, need to be very conscious and considerate, because there's a lot of things women go through that they'll never understand, they'll never go through. And, I can make a whole nother video about that. But in the moment, I left it at that. I just said that because he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll get a piece too." But yeah, that's all I said in the moment. Thank God, like, that killed it right there and then. But I don't know. If I do hear another comment from him like that, I will have a conversation and sit down with him and be like, my weight is none of your business. The second person I wanted to talk about is my cousin. She's a girl, and I'm not going to say any names because there is no point. This cousin I do love very much, but she can be, I'll just say, superficial, because that's the word. And I don't know why, honestly. I think some of you understand why I'm saying that. She was scrolling down her Facebook page, and she, I guess, came across pictures of me like 3 or 4 years ago. Mind you, I started gaining weight when I first started college, and then every year since then, I, packed on more and more weight. So I think the picture she looked at, I was like 40 pounds lighter, maybe 50. And she was like, "Oh my God, look, like, this is when you used to be skinny." And I was like, Like, I was shocked. I'm like, what? And you know, it's normal if you think that, like when you see someone's picture and you think that, but don't go and tell them, especially not in front of people, like at all. Don't tell them, like, what are you doing? Because you don't know. Maybe that person is working towards being at that weight again, and maybe they're not. Maybe they're really happy where they are. So it's not your place to say something, right? So she said that, and I was like, now, in this situation, I didn't say much because I knew that she had hit a nerve, and I didn't want to be cruel. You know, we were at a wedding, and I was just like, I just looked at her. And I think everyone else on the table, like, we're all related, so I think people sensed, oh, ooh, like something's off. And right away people are like, oh, well, back in the day, you know, we all used to be, you know, skinny. We've all gained weight. Like, that was years and years ago. And so people kind of said things. But in the moment, I was just like, okay. Like, I was just shocked. I didn't know what to say. I really didn't want to be cruel. This cousin, you know, has had children. She's gained weight as well. And I don't know what struggle she carries within. So I didn't know what to say, but honestly, I didn't want her projecting on me. So that was like around the cake incident. I just got up and got cake. Like, honestly, I do not, I don't care. I don't want to cuss in the video. It was kind of demeaning. Like, I was like, what? Like, why put me on the spot? And honestly, with this cousin, I love her, but I'm not gonna take her shit anymore. I want to say she's like 10 years older than me, so she's not a little girl anymore. She knows better. And so I think from now on, I love her, and I will try to hang out with her when I can, but I will definitely say something. Sorry, that phone cut off my conversation. But anyways, you guys get it. It was demeaning, and I was in an uncomfortable position, and I won't allow any of my family members to be putting me in those positions anymore, because screw people. No one should be you know, patronizing or rude or metiches. They should be nosy about your weight. Like, that's such a personal thing. I think money and weight, you know, don't talk to me about it. The third one is actually with my dad, and I'm just gonna mention it was him because I think it just makes it easier, and I love my dad, and you know, I think I was a little harsher on him, but it's so he learns, you know. Basically, we were in like the hallway where we live, and it was me, my mom, and my dad, and I said, oh, I've lost like 2 pounds, right? That's all I said. I was just telling my mom, and my dad overheard, and he's all like, oh, well, you only need like 50 more, and I was like, what? I was mind blown, right? I was like, how dare you? And me and my dad have had several, maybe like 2, altercations like this where we go at it. And he's definitely changed for the better. He's, you know, worked on himself a lot more. Maybe one day I'll have him on my channel and we'll talk about it. But I was like, excuse me? And he was just like, I think he didn't know what to do because he knows how I get. And actually, I do want to lose about 50 pounds, but not his place, right? Not his place. That's the whole point. I said, yeah, and you know what? I'm going to have a boyfriend for every single one of those pounds, and you're going to help me cover. And he was just shocked because I think, you know, in our culture, men are told, you could have 5 girlfriends, 10 girlfriends, like it's something that's praised. But for women, like, no, like you wait and you wait and you wait until you marry. But it's kind of an illogical thing, because how are you gonna end up married if you never date, if you never go out with someone, right? But I think for him, he was like, no, like, what do you mean? And I'm like, yeah, my dad suffered from how do I say this? Being unfaithful, I think would be the best way to put it, for a long time. And so when it comes to relationships and whatnot, I don't really turn to him. And so I told him, I'm like, you're my father and your loyalty lies with me. And once I lose weight, you're going to help cover for me, because I'm going to have a lot of boyfriends. And honestly, I'm down to have a boyfriend per pound that I lose. And you're going to help me so I don't get caught, so I can have a dozen relationships. And he looked at me like I was crazy. He's all like, no, you know, that's not right. Like, he didn't know what to say because honestly, he can't say much. And a part of me felt bad. My mom was looking at me like I was crazy and evil. And then I told my mom, you know, I'm just playing. Like, I'm not like that. But it definitely hits, I think, it hits him in a weird way because he's had excuses in the past. But how does he justify a daughter having those same excuses or those same you know, mannerisms, I guess you could say. So he didn't say much, and he was just like, I don't know, and you know, he went in his room and just, I think, just tried laughing it off. But I think it's important that, especially with our parents, with our cousins, we can deal with whenever we want. But with our parents, it's a completely different relationship. And it's important that when something bothers us or hurts or, you know, it's important that we do talk about it and we address it. Now, I've talked with my dad before, actual conversations. This one was a little mean. It was more like a jab, and I put him in a situation. But yeah, it's important that we talk about things because that's how we grow together. Now, I can't change my dad. He'll change on his own, and I can't get another dad. Like, that's my one and only dad. But, and I love him. But I thought for him, like with my cousin, I couldn't let it go. I had to say something. And I think you can read people. You can see if you can sit down with them and talk with them and they'll understand, or, you know, both of you will get something from that conversation. But if not, let it go or give them a different perspective, something to think about. That's kind of what I did with my dad. With my cousin, with my male cousin, I kind of lashed back. But be very careful with being aggressive, just because some people are closed-minded and some people react differently when someone gives them, like, comes back at them and lashes back. So yeah, that was just my rant. I just wanted to talk about it. I'm definitely looking to get healthier, but the thing is that at the end of the day, that's my business. And yes, I choose to share some of it, but no one has a right to come at me and make comments or try to control my life or influence it. Like, I understand people have opinions, but they are very well kept in their own heads. I have my own, and that's really honestly all I need. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I know this video is a bit longer than usual. I usually try to keep them around 6-7 minutes. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a beautiful day.